What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Sunday test drive here on American Truck Simulator. Today it's Freightliner Argosy. As you can see, it's got Caterpillar yellow as the color I've chosen. Went with basically a stock setup on this one, so it's got steel rims on there, a couple of light add-ons, but for the most part kept it pretty much plain Jane. The interior isn't that much different than what you see in other Freightliners, which is fine. It's a little outdated, not all technical and high-tech like you see on the Kenworth and Peterbilts. Now, this truck in the real world is pretty much non-existent. You're not going to see it very often. If you do, it's an older version or it's a glider kit truck. This truck is only available for sale in South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand. And some of the options here do look Australian or New Zealand-like with the mud flaps and the grill or a couple other choices. But if you want this truck in the States, you have to buy it as a glider. So that means there's no powertrain, it's just a truck body. The grill is updated as well for the new truck, and I've only seen one of these recently, and actually it was hauling a grain trailer just outside Chicago. So very few of these are still out there. You're probably going to see older versions, and more than you're going to see newer ones, which is still great. In fact, some of the mods that are in the pipes right now are the older versions of trucks, Cabovers mainly, and so on. So get ready to be seeing a few more of these as we roll on through the next few weeks or the next few months. Those are still being worked on. But as far as the Argosy here, it's a truck I've wanted to drive for a while, and this truck was different than your normal conventionals because it boasted a 50-degree turning radius or turning angle on the front tires here, which made it pretty nimble if you were in a tight spots. As I mentioned before with my last Cabover, these are different to drive than a conventional because they turn so quickly. That pivot point, that those steering wheels, the steering tires are not 6-7 feet out in front of you. They're right underneath you, which is definitely different. But this truck here isn't all that bad. It's not huge on the options, on the interior wise as well. Not as many. I wouldn't, maybe very few if you want to look look at it that way. It is definitely less than the Freightliner FLB, which is to each their own. Some might say it's good, some might say it's bad. They want to have more options. This truck does come with a handful of skins, 4 or 5 of them. One of them is a gallon oil setup, so if you want to go to company route, you do have that option if you want to haul gallon oil tankers. There were 3 more just different layouts for skins as well, just abstract art, and the other one looked like it could be a fleet look. There are a small handful of skins. Oh, out behind a tree. There are a handful of skins available on the Steam Workshop as well. Lucasi has put out a couple of them. So I'm sure there are other choices if you guys wish to venture out to third-party sites. The truck is a little outdated. I actually tried hooking this up to a couple of Jazzy Cats trailers. One was a hopper. It wouldn't fit. So I'm not sure if that's a trailer issue or if it's a truck issue, but just keep that in mind. If you guys download this thing, you might not be able to hook up to every trailer that's available. I do have quite a few trailer mods still activated in this profile, so I do have plenty of choices. This is, of course, the 2.0 version of the Wabash trailer pack from Bart, and I hooked up to it just fine. I actually had that problem recently as well with the W900, and it was the Fontaine drop deck pack, the Velocity pack. I had to basically ram the truck underneath the trailer just to get it to hook up. Wasn't happening here with this one. Couldn't ram it underneath. You'd back up into it and just slam right into it. So Had to cancel that load. Grabbed this one, the Missoula Valley Transport. So, good looking skin, and actually this company that's on the trailer here, you usually see them going down the road with all the aerodynamic stuff on them. They got the hubcaps on. The trucks are International Pro Stars. They've got the caps on the rims as well, trying to keep that aerodynamic look. They even got the fenders that wrap around the rim, like you might see on the Nestbaum trailers and trucks. I've seen these trucks for a while, trying to get that whole aerodynamic look going about them. It's not on this trailer, but yeah, if you guys see those MVT going down the road, that's pretty much the same one here, if I remember correctly. Not too many companies are going that route, and unfortunately, we don't really have that here. We do have the trailers with the side skirts, but you know, it hasn't transferred over to the trucks yet, so no aerodynamic stuff to really worry about here. But as far as this truck, it's not aerodynamic. It's you're basically driving a wall, basically, and that's one other reason the trucks here in the States have gone away. They weren't known for being the smoothest of rides, and they're just not aerodynamic. I mean, a 389 is more aerodynamic than this. You know, I'm sure that's not hard to believe. You know, like I said, you got that big flat face. Now here, they did slant the windows a little bit on this newer version, and compared to the newer version that's rolling around, there isn't much of a difference, to be quite honest, between what you see here on this truck and the new one. They did kind of round the corners a little bit. They enlarged the grille. That's more of a bling factor, it looks like. But for the most part, the truck is unchanged, just a little more refined. So, now, as far as the styling cues that come from trucks that are found overseas, those might be a little different as well. Seeing that those are still showroom floor trucks compared to the ones here in the States, where, like I said, you can only get as a glider. But this is going to be a somewhat of a short video here, guys. As you can see, I am getting off the highway here. Kraft Heinz right down the road. That is my delivery point. Engine sounds, that if you guys might have noticed, are a little different from inside the outs. Not bad at all. Engine brake is different per engines. I believe this is a Cat C15. I did try a Cummins, and I noticed that although the engine revving sounds were all the same, the engine brakes were different. It sounded so. This is a 475 Cat C15 that's in here, hooked up to an 13 speed with retarder. And I noticed on the outside the exhaust brake is a little louder, and you can barely hear it when you're on the inside of the cab. Yeah, so nice and loud out here, but once you get inside the cab, not so much. You really have to listen for it. So, once again, to each their own on that one. Some are going to like that, some will not. See if I can demonstrate this turning radius here. This is where it'll be, you know, look at that, I'm already 90 degrees. In all, I do like this truck. It is different. And of course, driving a Cabover is obviously different than driving a conventional, but in all, I do like this truck. Hopefully I see this truck continue to be updated as time goes on. And when I come back on the backhaul, I will definitely have some different options on it. Maybe throw a skin on there as well. Give you guys an idea what this thing might look like if you decide to put the wrench to it. So, that is going to be it for now, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this one, and tune in tomorrow for my normal 389 trip, and of course Wednesday, backhaul with the Argosy. So, until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it easy.